Inspired by kingdom principles that work for you.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Power of Her Story with your delightful host, if I do say so myself, me, Letitia Campbell-Parker. This is season 2 of the Power of Her Story. You can check out all the other shows on RBNTV YouTube channel. There are a host of 11 shows, so be sure to check us out. Tonight, the Power of Her Story is going to be welcoming two very motivational, two inspirational, two powerful women. The Power of Her Story in general is all about women helping women. We hope to motivate, educate, and exhilarate by providing content that's informative, relevant, and entertaining. The Power of Her Story is about, just providing a platform for women. So tonight, we would like to welcome two women, Regina Smith and Kentisha Ward of Grow the Food Lab. It's a food production hub for culinary entrepreneurs. See, I did my homework, ladies. I know what it's about. I know what it's called, but you have to explain to me what that's all about. What is a food production hub for culinary entrepreneurs?
All right. Well, I guess I'll start off first. So thank you, first of all, for having us. It's a pleasure to be here and to just talk more and share our story. So what Grow provides is a place for culinary entrepreneurs, farmers, chefs, anyone in the food space to come, cook, create, connect, and bring this sense of community to a facility that provides commercial equipment, it provides access to export, and it removes some of those barriers to entry for culinary businesses in the Bahamas. And so I don't know if Tisha wants to chime in, but that is the genesis and what really Grow is about.
Yeah, so when you think about Grow is like a food campus, a maximized food campus for all culinary and food entrepreneurs. So like Regina said, for the farmer who grows too much onions, you no longer have to waste them. We now have a facility where you can come and process those onions. You can process them into final value-added goods. So instead of throwing your onions away, you can now come and create these value-added products that you can mass manufacture and also put in stores or potentially export. Also, another part about Grow that's really fascinating, this is my favorite part, and it's the food testing. And because I understand that it was one of the largest challenges for Regina and I when we did want to export our product was getting our products tested. Food testing gives a lot of food entrepreneurs, manufacturers, and processors access to store shelves. Being able to have nutritional facts on your label, it gives them access to growth. We also have access to storage, cold storage, frozen storage, and dry storage. More than 2,000 square feet of stainless steel, just equipment for chef space. So the caterers will be in heaven. The chefs will get to work in a masterpiece of vision, I could say, where they'll have their deep fryers, they'll have their ranges, they'll have their lines, where they could bring in their team and be able to create what would take them one day. It could take them with 1 hour with the equipment and the space that we will be able to offer for them. So Grow is everything you could imagine about food in one place.
Okay, well, I'm kind of upset. I feel some kind of way, Regina, because you didn't tell me about this whole food tasting situation. How do I sign up for that part? Because I'm a foodie. I could sign up. I could do some food testing for y'all. I'll do it pro bono.
So definitely, well, food testing is going to come once the facility is open, and that kind of leads into our whole investment and the announcement that you saw, I think, on November 1st. So on November 1st, we launched officially on Arawak X. So we're now we're using crowdfunding as our means for investment. So this is going to allow Bahamians and others an opportunity to invest and grow. And so for $16 a share, you now can be a part of this facility, watch it grow, and then be invited to come and taste whatever it is that we produce in the space. And so we're encouraging persons to, go onto the Arawak X platform, sign up, become an investor. And then if you have questions, just reach out to us. We're here. we're available, we're accessible, and we want to, work together as a community to really start to empower Bahamians, not just verbally, but to really put that into action. And so, we're excited for what's to come. We're excited for our journey thus far. And so we just look forward to working with so many awesome creatives.
See now, Regina, you're giving me so much information. One time I gotta write some notes, okay? But I gotta come back to all you telling me because you jumping ahead of me. You're not giving me a chance.
I'm
okay.
We're excited. We're definitely excited.
And I'm excited to hear about it. First of all, I want to know a little bit about you guys. Give me some background into who is Regina Smith? What were you doing before this? What were you doing that's coinciding with this? Tell me about Regina before we get to Grow, the Culinary Hub, RYX, and all the stuff that's going over my head.
Right. So Regina is she's an awesome person that loves to empower and inspire persons. And my background is in tourism management, but with a focus on sustainable development. So in every career path that I've taken, sustainability has been kind of the focal. And so with Firehouse, which is actually my processing company that I started about 7 years ago, Firehouse actually manufactures seasonings, spices, sauces, condiments, all from locally sourced produce. So like Tisha mentioned, that onion powder, we focused primarily originally on peppers. So all the peppers that you saw, that were either, in those packing houses or on farmer lands that didn't have a market or of space to sell, we would purchase those and create value-added products from it. So we had pepper jellies, seasonings, hot sauce, you name it, we produced it. And we produce it still. And so our journey in Firehouse, the desire was always there to export. And so we started off, just like many Bahamian businesses, you start off in your home kitchens and you're processing, but then you realize the cost of production is so high. And, that selling price is now passed on to the consumer. And so where the average pepper jelly in the Bahamas is selling for $10, in comparison, a international brand may be selling for $3, for instance. And it's because they've been able to scale up, mass produce, and they're able to reduce their costs. And so Firehouse had to go through this expensive journey of figuring out how to export. And so last year we were actually successful in getting our products to a distributor where it's now being distributed in the US, Canada, and the UK. So that process, as tedious and as expensive as it was, taught us so many valuable lessons. And when I say us is me as the entrepreneur wearing so many hats, but having to figure it out on my own, and at that point with the frustration, I said, you know what, Tish, and Kentisha, we've been talking for so long about this. We need to come together and create this space. Because what I realized is that from the FDA sees my products to the guy saying, well, there's nothing we can do until we test it, I realized that if this is something that I want to do again, it has to be different next time. And so with the lessons learned and with the failures made, we came together and we said, this is something that we have to do. And that was the birth of Grow. And so that's kind of my background now. So I'm definitely looking forward to taking the lessons learned, taking the resources and the networks that I've gained over the years and just bringing it to this facility and saying, not only is it beneficial to Firehouse anymore, it's now going to be a space where you as an aspiring jam maker now has the opportunity to come to this facility, get the training, understand what goes into the food science behind it, get the packaging help, get the nutritional label testing that you need, and then give yourself, you'll now have the ability to market your product and export, to the export market. And so we're excited for the opportunity. And I think that's my story in a nutshell.
Okay, cool. Kentisha, tell me a little bit about yourself, about your background, where you came from, how did you get here? Give me something. Tell me something about you.
No problem. Hello, everybody. My name is Kentisha Ward. I am the co-founder of Grow and also the owner of Pop Stop Handcrafted Gourmet Popsicles. If you guys have ever heard of them or tried them, we manufacture local fruit popsicles. Our slogan is, if you could pick it, we could pop it. So we make soursop popsicles, tamarind popsicles, juju popsicles, dilly popsicles, hog plum popsicles, Mommy popsicles, literally, if you could pick it, we could pop it. And it came to a point to where as my business grew, I started my business with just $10. I said, I'm going to change the cup and baggie narrative and change it to something gourmet. And we moved on to gourmet popsicles. So we grew from $10 to being able to be wholesaled and also retailed throughout the Bahamas in different locations like Atlantis, Bahama, Albany, just a few places just to list. So we scaled to that from $10, but we had realized that there has to be access to a bigger market from this. And we also had persons reaching out to us from Europe and also from the US who wanted to have our products in their stores. And these were major distributors. And during this time, me and Regina, we were having conversations about the challenges we were having exporting. And Letitia, I would never forget the day when one of the distributors told me that they want popsicles and they want them now. And I had to go through the steps of just figuring out how am I going to get frozen popsicles, which is a little bit different than
Yeah.
pepper jelly. It's something that has to be at a temperature the entire process. So I had to find out that I needed to actually export an entire full container load of popsicles. I can't do half containers. I can't just send a box. It has to be an entire reefer container of popsicles. So I then had to go into the math to realize, well, how many popsicles fit into a reefer container? And it's 121,000 boxes of popsicles fit into a 20-foot reefer container. So for me to make, currently at my capacity, for me to make 121,000 cases of popsicles, I need 121 days. So for me to be able to produce for 121 days consistently, there needs to be external money or popsicles being made somewhere else to pay off all of the other bills like payroll, staff, and all of these other things to produce this 121,000 cases. So I started learning from that step when it comes to production and scalability. How am I able to scale my product in the environment that I am and with the funding, the capital that I have to be able to get to a volume to whereas I could maybe make some of these numbers locally, or I can be able to scale up my production to be able to export efficiently and still supply a local market.
Mm.
So that was my learning experience that I needed packaging. Packaging was the most important thing because we all get one little plastic bag and we want to sell our products in this plastic bag and say, hey, it's mine, buy it. But we
So you
realized
gotta put
how
a sticker
important
on it. You
packaging
gotta put
was.
a sticker on it first, right?
Yes, at least the sticker, at least a sticker, and maybe we may write what's in it on the sticker,
Yeah.
right? But now it was a more elaborate packaging that could actually compete internationally on the shelf with other popsicle brands. Also, before my product gets into stores, everybody in the US they want to know what's the nutritional facts. How do these
Mhm.
nutritional facts look on your product? Do you have your vitamin D allotments in these nutritional facts? Or is it the updated FDA nutritional facts? All of
Yeah.
these were questions that actually had to be answered prior to export that I didn't know until it was time to export. So we brought in all of our new packaging, and then we found out that these products have to be created in an FDA certified lab because it's food. So it has to be preserved to make sure there's no bacteria. So then we went right back to the beginning. Where is this lab to produce? Because currently I was producing out of a storefront, and when the pandemic came, the storefront became a little bit too expensive. So one of the things that Grow offers is rental space for processes like Regina and I. So therefore, we don't have to come up with first, last, and
Overhead.
security deposit. We don't have to come up with electricity fees. We don't have to come up with equipment fees. You just have to come up with your daily rental, and you have space to rent, to produce, to grow, to create, and to connect.
Okay, so hypothetically, right? I'm a chef, a baker, and I need to come in and do this great big huge order. What do I have to do to get into the food lab? What in terms of expenses, paperwork? What do I have to do?
So there's a number of steps. You can either come in as a member, and so there is going to be a membership fee of the facility, and so there will be criterias and different ratings as a member. So let's just say you're a regular walk-in. So you have an order now, and it's someone's wedding. They want a cake and they want cupcakes. So you're going to schedule a booking, and you're going to have your allotted time slot. So just like how you have a scheduling app, there will be a scheduling app used to schedule in that time. So once you arrive or prior to coming, you would know that the facility provides for a baker. We have something called the baker's corner. So in that space, I'll include equipment like your blast chiller, your ovens, your mixers, and so you're gonna have the essential commercial grade equipment needed to fulfill that order. But what you then will bring to the facility would be the dry material needed. You'll be able to store it. So let's just say your event is on Friday, but you usually go to the store on Monday. So on Monday, you can say, hey, guys, I want to be able to secure these items here. I purchased my sugar wholesale. I brought all these things in. And so you can now buy locker storage for those individual items and place them in storage. And so on Friday, you show up, you change into your working clothes, and you go into your baker's corner, and you begin the process of making whatever goods it is that you're making. And that's basically it. So you're able to now bake, chill it, and then frost it, package it, and go on your merry way. And so then you'll also be assigned, if needed, a lab assistant or an assistant on the floor that will help you with that cleanup process as well, because the cleaning standards have to be maintained in this space.
That was my next question. Do I have to clean it up?
So there will be, we will have a maintenance crew that's on the ground and that will be there to ensure that the standards are maintained. Because like we said, food safety is definitely our a top priority for us. And so to avoid any guessing or you bringing your own chemicals, we're going to handle the cleaning. And so all of that cost is calculated in our structure as well. So there's no hidden fees. There's no other additional surprises. You pay, you show up, you go to your space, you work, you leave. So we're making it easier now for individuals and entrepreneurs to really expand and explore in their craft without having to figure it out or worry about that overhead cost.
Wow, that is amazing. That's impressive. I like that idea. You two ladies are clearly creatives. You're inspirational, you're motivational, and you obviously thinking outside the box. How did you two get together before the whole grow? How did you two get together, get with each other?
Okay. Well, Kentisha and I met during trade shows. So it was always fire and ice. I would be in the,
I think it was a True Bahamian trade show that I met you at, Regina. I remember you were right across the room from me, and we all had an Androsia print.
Yes. So I think that was our initial meeting at Atlantis. And I was set up in my firehouse booth, and she was over there with her popsicles. And so, to see a young face in the crowd amongst the more older or mature women, in this field, it was empowering, and it was also a good way to say, hey, there is continuity in this craft and in this segment or in this area. And so, yeah, we connected from then. And so we would just kind of catch up with each other every once in a blue moon, see how's it going. And the message was always the same. We were either frustrated about something that happened, a loss of equipment due to, the electrical outages or the cost of production being, increasing, or supplies being lost, or, 1 minute you're calculating for this and then there's a VAT increase or there's shipping increase. And so just sharing our experiences as entrepreneurs in our separate craft, we realized that there was power in unity. And we may have separate products, but the challenges that we face were the same. And so just in conversation, November 30th last year was the day Kentisha and I sat down and said, we're going to do this. And from then to now was the start of this idea, and us really saying, we're going to put pen to paper. We're going to figure this out. We're going to put in the research, put in the work, crunch the numbers, and make this a reality. Wow. And so from then to now, this has been the journey.
Wow. So I need to get down to the nitty gritty, and we could block Regina if we need to, Kentisha. But I want to know, you were used to working by yourself, having your own business, and so was Regina, used to being totally independent. How is it now working with a partner? not to say specifically Regina, but just the whole partnering experience. Because, sometimes women get a little, you know, I know Regina's not like that, but you can tell us the truth.
Use
Working with
your
a partner
words
has changed
nicely.
my entire idea when it comes to running a business, and I wish I would have had a partner a lot sooner.
Oh, wow.
With Regina and I, we are literally yin and yang that complements each other. And I'm so excited to have Regina as a business partner because everything that I need, she has, and we complement each other so very, very well. Her knowledge base, my knowledge base, her skill base, her experience, my skill base. It's been magic from since day one. And honestly, the teacher sometimes she has to call me and say, "Teach, did you do this yet?" But I'm so grateful for our partnership and our communication, how we're able to get things done.
So, Regina, do you copy that sentiment? Do you agree? I mean, I guess you have to agree now, hey.
Yeah, I can say it's the same. But and the reality is that not every day we will agree on things, but
Yeah.
it's taught us to understand and respect each other's ideas. And so, I enjoy our powwows when because Tish comes with the crazy ideas. So she comes with Gina, we're gonna do is live recording. I'm like, Kentisha, no. We're gonna go record ourselves. And I'm like,
No.
negative. But event, and
He's like, "Is this
she's put me
feasible?
on the
Can
spot
this
so
is this
many times.
realistic?"
She puts me on the spot so many times, but I love that because it's pulling us out of our comfort zones, and it's
Right.
forcing us to really develop in our own spaces. And so, we understand each other's strengths and we build upon those. And so wherever we lack, the other one picks up the slack.
And I like that you said that part about, being pushed outside of your comfort zone because I've heard it said recently and multiple times that growth, see what I said there? Growth
Yes.
doesn't occur in your comfort
In your
zone.
comfort
So,
zone.
this is your opportunity to grow. You have to be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And you're very lucky to have someone like Kentisha to force you to be uncomfortable.
Yes, definitely. And the thing is too is that it's not just Tisha. We have a team of a behind the scenes team of advisors and other team members that are, been relentless, and they've been motivating us, and they're really consistent on supporting our vision. And so we always mention them. They know who they are, and we're just grateful for the opportunity, and for them to believe in us, like just believing in us and saying, you too can do it. As crazy as this idea seems, as big as it seems, as long as we've been waiting for this to come, it's finally happening, and you two are doing it. So we're truly grateful to them as well.
Okay, so you guys talked about crunching the numbers, and I won't ask you what the numbers were. Numbers are very intimidating to me. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I have a nonprofit. And when I see the numbers, I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. I don't have no money. How am I going to do this? I'm not taking out no loan. And you guys talked about crowdfunding. So, Kentisha, you want to explain a bit about crowdfunding, or Regina? Let me know about crowdfunding, how I could get in on it, how I could get some money to source my ventures. Let me know the nitty gritty on crowdfunding.
Yeah, so as of this year, we had decided to go with the Arawak X crowdfunding platform to be able to gain this raise. One of the reasons why we decided to go with this platform is we realized that it gave Bahamians an opportunity to own Bahamian. And this is one of the very rare opportunities where you could have Bahamians come and own a part of a company for just $16. So because our vision was being able to help all Bahamians grow, we wanted to be able to have other Bahamian shareholders involved in the ownership of Grow so that they could follow along and see us as a nation grow and know that they invested in it. Arawak, being able to sign up for the Arawak X platform, like I say, it's been an amazing experience. It's been extremely supportive. The team has been very supportive from since first getting on board. As we've mentioned earlier, Arawak X has taught us how to be a little bit more disciplined when it comes to business. And Letitia, I'm sure you know where we run our own businesses, we're not as disciplined as we need to be because we're the own boss, right? We're our own boss. We don't have anybody to report to. But now with our WAC X, they've disciplined us so much with the different procedures on what we need to know and what needs to be in place to get to the next. Experience has just been growing every day, if I could say. Regina, I don't know if you want to chime in.
So yeah, so I think you hit the nail on the head with the word discipline. I think that's been our word for the day. But what our ex has really taught us is to have those structures in place and to establish yourself as a proper entity. So you can't have an expired business license anymore. You can't put that money on your personal bank account. And so the foundation has to be right before you can come to them. And so with that, that also boosts the investor security and safety part of it too. So now you know that you're investing in a legitimate company. You know that the stakeholders of this company, you know the owners, you can see them, you have access to them. So no longer can you ignore those phone calls or ignore those emails. There's an accountability factor that's at play now. And so definitely I would encourage everyone, if crowdfunding is a route that you really think is beneficial to you and your business and the Bahamian economy, go for it. Give it a try. The team is definitely there. The equities team has been working along with us from day one. And we did have to keep it a secret. So there are some limitations to what is allowed until you've gone onto the platform itself. But the process itself, once you understand that it will take time, it will cost you money, but at the end there is a reward.
I feel like both of y'all just came on here and chose violence tonight because y'all were talking straight to me, but this discipline and don't put money here and don't have the business license. It's like y'all really just came to attack me tonight.
Because we know we've been there too. Trust me.
I like
But
Kentisha
Letitia,
said.
you'll be so surprised.
uh,
Go ahead, sorry.
I said, like with me, I think I have a whole checklist of things I need to do. And because I'm accountable to only myself at this point, it's just let me prioritize. Let me get this out. Let me get that out. And of course, the things that I don't really look forward to doing tend to get pushed down the list. Like, I don't want to update my business plan. It's intimidating to me. So, I've been having that come up in my list of reminders for the past 2 months.
Oh wow.
And that's something I don't want to do. But like you said, if you have someone to be accountable to, now, I just have to knock it out. I have to get it done. So, yeah, y'all came to attack me tonight, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
We all need that. We all need that sometimes.
Trust
What was
me, Letitia, we all needed it, believe it or not. And you'll
yeah.
be surprised how many entrepreneurs run their businesses and with not crossing the T's and dotting the I's. So, like I say, this was a learning experience for a lot of persons, and we hope to be able to share with everybody so that they could the process as well.
So, you guys, what was the toughest, the hardest part about this whole venture? About the whole entrepreneurial journey in general? What's that expression, Regina?
I don't know. I think it's twofold. For me, it's definitely coming out of my comfort zone. So that I told you this is new for me, but to now put yourself out there and you're now not just the face of Firehouse, but you're the face of this facility that has such a great impact. That spotlight is now on you. So the pressure is tall. But what I do love is the challenge that it brings and the opportunity for me to grow outside of that space, but the ability to now empower and inspire others. Um, and I think another challenging part is, I think that's it. I think for me, it was just believing in myself and putting in the work required and seeing it through.
Tisha?
I could definitely say one of the greatest challenges, I could say myself believing in myself, to be honest. Because some days I felt the workload was too hard, it was too much, being able to have a 9 to 5, also planning out this business, also having Pop Stop as another business. I think that was a challenge, just being able to balance the workload and knowing that I can do it. And I knowing that I have to do it so that we could get so that we could get our business funded, so that we could get all other Bahamians growing. So that I think that was my biggest challenge, just being able to know that I myself and Regina could get all of this work done.
And I think another thing was too, when you start to do that market research and you tell people, we're thinking about this facility, and they're like, oh yeah, we thought about that before too, and it didn't work. And so you already have those people that are like shooting that idea down. And sometimes your vision is so big that you have to keep it to yourself. And so rather than, being discouraged by what we heard, we kind of quiet ourselves and really focused again on just getting it done, putting in the work, doing the research, and not really taking on what the noise was at that point. And so, yeah, so that was definitely one of those teachable moments. And sometimes you just have to be quiet and
Yeah.
move strategically and move in silence.
Yes, I've really, really learned that because the people you kind of sometimes you expect to support you and support your dream and your vision, they don't. They shoot it
Right.
down. It's really discouraging. And then I've had to learn that it's not their vision. It's my
Exactly.
vision, it's my dream. So you don't have to support it. I got this.
Yep.
Yeah. So in general, when it comes to, and I just want to segue here, Regina, because you made a very important point when it comes to market research.
Hmm.
Because when I decided to come into the whole entrepreneurial field, I didn't know about this market research. You just have an idea in your head and you say, okay, I'm going to go there, I'm going to do this. I don't know if anybody's spending money on it. I don't know if there's something we need in the Bahamas. And I learned this through the R program. Shout out to the R program 2021 cohort. But when we had to do the market research, I had to really like reflect on myself. Like, did I do market research? Someone just came to me the other day talking about this new business idea they're going to bring to Grand Bahama, and they're so excited about it. And I didn't want to shoot it down. I'm like, okay, you have to do the research, and I'm talking like an all facilitator
Of
because
course.
I'm knowledgeable now. And the person was like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to charge this price, and I'm like, is this something people are going to spend money on? Is this something that's needed? And is that price appropriate? Because I can talk it now. So market research, people, that is very, very important. Don't spend your $100,000 and nobody come into your business because
Hmm.
that is not the vision. You going
Right.
broke. So I think Kentisha pointed out too. Now, Kentisha has a 9 to 5. She got the pop stop. She has grow. How do you balance your personal lives with your businesses, with your mental health, with your general health? How do you get exercise in? Remember to take your vitamins, all that stuff. How do you balance it?
I think as a young woman, Letitia, I'm realizing that some of these things come with age and experience. With this project that we're working on now, you see Regina's laughing in the background. With this project that I'm working on now, I'm learning how to schedule and I'm learning how to use Google calendars, Outlook calendars, every calendar I could find.
Yes.
Letitia, I have it on my phone because I need it. And I always ask my other friends who are just as busy as I am, I always ask them, so what do you do? What do you do to manage your schedule? And everybody has a different way. So if I could take a combination of every way, it's just to balance myself out, I do all of each and every single way.
So do you find time to have a personal life and your business life, or has your personal life totally is it obsolete now?
The past month, obsolete. But I have hope in the upcoming months that maybe I may be able to regain it back. But in the past month, it's just been everything growing, to be honest.
Wow, you're very optimistic. Regina, how are you balancing everything? How are you balancing your life?
I um I think for me it may be a little bit easier because I think Tisha, that I really like systems. And so, even with the R program, I'd always tell you all schedule the time, set aside an hour. And so I've learned to if it's grow work, grow has 2 hours of my time. And so it's, I just schedule it in. If it's firehouse and I have to process, that's on the weekends. I lock out 4 hours and I get it done. And so I'm a little bit more disciplined because I know what it is that I want at the end of it. Now, there are times when I'm like, I just can really stop and do everything and stop and do nothing. And it's okay because I know at that point, Jane, you got to take a break. You got to catch yourself. You need to go out, come away from the house, come out of the spice house and make time for you. Do what it is that you want to do, nothing at all. And it's okay to say I'm tired or I don't feel like it or I just need a break and I don't want to do it. But I do have a 9 to 5. And so that's definitely a challenge. But it's not difficult. So you kind of have to schedule. So entrepreneurship means that you're working from 5 o'clock in the morning until about 7:30 time to get ready for work. And then when you come home in the evening, everything starts at 5:30. So we have phone calls lined up for this entire week from 5:30 until up to 9 o'clock. And so it's just scheduling it, making it a priority, and doing what needs to be done. Because someday this is all going to pay off.
And discipline, discipline, discipline. You liking that word?
Yeah, that's my word for the year. So 2021's word was discipline.
Discipline. Okay, so I have a question that has nothing to do necessarily with grow. I guess you could factor it with grow, but in terms of your own personal ventures, your own businesses, when you have those, you all have those friends who say, "Oh, Gina, I can't get some of this pepper sauce, say, or this pepper powder, or Kentisha, I need a couple of popsicles for this party." And what's my price? What's my rate? How do you deal with that? Because I experience that from time to time. My business is service based, but still, you get those people who need just a little advice here and there, and they ain't coming with the money. How do you deal with that? How do you address that, Tisha?
With me, I always I have a lot of persons who do that, but I always try to remind them, well, I could give you a discount, and the discount is normally the regular price, to be honest. I could say definitely depending on the type of business. I try to apply discounts where I can and when I can, to build customer rapport. But we have these friends who want popsicles every day, Letitia, and then sometimes we have to break it down to them and say, hey, no, I actually run a business, and each popsicle I sell you is $3 that I can get from a customer. So let me know if I can come back to you at the end of the month, okay? Because bills are still existing, and they
Yes.
normally understand that, because they a lot of persons, they see me hustling and they see me working hard to make my $3. So when they come and ask for that break, I say, I need a break of $3, please, and then they
Yeah.
pretty much they understand.
Okay, so there hasn't been any major fallout from that yet. Okay, very good. You have some good friends. Regina, how do you deal?
I think it's the same thing with the friends. My issue, not really an issue. My issue is family. And so what I have learned is that understanding your pricing structure pays off. So let's just take the gold pepper powder that everybody wants for free, right? So it retails at $15. But what I've been able to do is with my family, I've set up this rebate where if you give me back the container, I will refill it and bring it back to you. And so you get it at a reduced price. And they're okay with that because they feel as though they're getting a deal, but it still keeps me at that profit line. And so I just don't go underneath that. And so that's where you have to understand your pricing structure. Same thing with friends. Friends do get those breaks as well if they remember to keep their containers. Sometimes if I'll do something for them. But one of the things that I also wanted to mention with freebies is at the beginning of the year, when I'm looking or planning out Firehouse for 2020, for instance, or 2021, there's a cap that I set in terms of what promotional items or how many promotional items I want to give out. So whether it's gift sets, whether it's free hot sauce, because someone always wants something for free. So if let's say now it's November, there's really nothing free to give out anymore. So if you're calling me in November saying, hey, Regina, I want to put together this basket that's going to go to to this high-end customer. And I really think you should just put in some of your items. So you're like, okay, so what's your budget? Mom, but this allows you to put your basket into the hand or your products into the hands of a famous person. And I'm like, okay, well, I've reached my quota for the year. What I can do is give me $50 and I'll put together some products or whatever, and I'll throw in some freebies. And it's not really freebies because you're still putting it at cost and you're still understanding your cost, and it kind of works out that way. So you just have to be strategic on what you say and how you say things, and making sure that you're not just giving away your products. So understand your price, and if you can give it away at the wholesale price, then you're still making something. So just understanding how you structure your pricing.
Okay, so I have my calendar here, so I could write it in for my freebies in January then, Regina?
So January, you call me and you tell me
I get
what
some
special
freebies?
events is happening, and we will see.
And we will see. Okay,
We
that's
will
a good
see.
way not to lock yourself into that. Kentisha, I need some
Exactly.
popsicles. I need some free popsicles for January. Work it out.
No problem. We definitely could work something out. No worries.
So what's the competition like over there in Nassau in terms of the food lab. I've never heard of this before, so I'm assuming you don't have any competition.
So, so the Bahamas. Well, there is a processing facility that is government owned, located on Gladstone Road at the moment. And so it is a government owned facility that is open between 9 to 5. There are some structural limitations, electric appliance limitations, and so there are some limitations in what can and cannot happen in this space. And so while we acknowledge what it is that they're doing at the processing facility on Gladstone Road, we commend them. We've worked with them. That's how I originally started my business, and so I'm thankful and grateful to work alongside them, and I've learned from them. But there still are some limitations to what the facility can do. So what makes us different from them will be our ability to schedule at various times. The FDA or the regulated space, meaning that there is now an easier way from production to export. And so just the additional services that Grow is going to bring to the table and to Bahamians and to entrepreneurs in this space will separate us from other competitors.
Because it sounds like you guys have like a totally just comprehensive setup there.
Yeah, it's definitely a comprehensive approach looking at the entire ecosystem of food production from farm to table, essentially. And so from the farmer, processor, chef, distributor, and then the consumer, we're touching each one of those value points along the way.
Is the food lab, the hub, is it set up in a way? What if I need to come in overnight in the middle of the night? Is someone there? How do we do that?
So you will be able to get an access code, and this access code will come to your cell phone, and you could actually use that access code to enter different parts of the facility. We intend to have a 24-hour service and also assistance, so that you could actually, if you do have to come there early in the morning, because let's say you may have a 9 to 5 like Regina and I do, because that's a reality. So we have to start working at 5 a.m. So if you have to come at 5 a.m. to get your stuff out before 9 p.m. or before 9 a.m., you can do that. If you have to come at 9 p.m. and work until midnight, because that's the only time you have when you get off, you have the access to cook, create, and connect at any time.
This is very fancy, very high tech.
Listen, when the tech team started showing us how you can unlock doors just from your phone at home,
Wow.
It just opened up our eyes to access. And so I think the importance of access is what we need to really focus on, is that no longer are there limitations or simple limitations. You now can just go, you have space, you have the kitchen usage. There's no wandering off into different areas because they're all locked. But now you're able to go into the space that you need to go into, use it, and then leave. And it's just simple.
So how important would you guys say networking, collaboration is in this whole scheme of things, in the whole and entrepreneurial as a whole, but at the Grow Lab, the Grow Hub, and in terms of even just getting that off the ground, how important is networking, working together, collaboration? Because in our society there tends to be a spirit of competition rather than collaboration, especially amongst women. So how do you find networking? How do you feel about the whole networking thing?
So far for us, networking has been absolutely amazing. Like I say, we have an advisory board of some very amazing, powerful women who continue to pour into us. We realize when starting a business here in the Bahamas, you need to network so you can build your net worth, especially in terms of funding and crowdfunding. You want to make sure you do have a strong network so you could reach out to the right persons who are able to invest, reach out to the right friends who have TV shows who could allow you to come on so that you could tell persons to invest, right? So creating a strong network is what we had prized ourselves on and what we still do prize ourselves on, because we know that the network is the strength of the facility, local networks and also international networks. Like Regina had chimed in earlier, we have created agreements with international universities who we also want to come and work with Grow the Food Lab, so they could also import some of their knowledge from the food labs that they've worked with around the world, so that they can come and cook, create, and connect with us as well.
And I think, just chiming to what Tisha said, we also acknowledge the existence of governments and public entities. And so this whole collaboration and working with places like BAMSI, BAIC, Ministry of Agriculture, these are key stakeholders in what it is that we're doing. And so there's There will be no segregation. There will be no exclusive only or private entities only. This is a collaborative effort. And so we want to work with the University of the Bahamas, connect them with our university partners. We want to work with BAMZ. And we have friends and allies in these spaces that are phone calls away that, if need be, we need to have conversations with them. They're accessible. And so we want to talk about, you want to make sure that when you speak about growth and development, you don't separate yourself from government, but you want to be inclusive in what it is that they're doing as well, and look at ways to strengthen what it is that you're doing, and get some return on that investment, and some spill off into what it is that both of you can collaborate and share on.
How complicated do you find the whole, I guess, collaboration effort with the government? Because there's a lot of red tape. We know how government operates.
So government is an eloquent dance of collaboration. And so you just have to be strategic and patient. And you have to bring something to the table, and whatever it is that you want, you request it. But understanding where their strengths are and where the weaknesses are, I think is important. So rather than, let's just say, we talk about the packing house, for instance, we talk about the challenges that they have in terms of that wastage that you see. So no longer will it be an issue of wastage. It's now an opportunity for us to collect your excess, sort it, grade it, do some cross training. How do we grade items when they first are picked and entered into your receiving station? How do we say this is a grade A onion that goes to the grocery store or the restaurant? And then we say this is a C grade that goes to the processing space. So this is where you now look at their deficiencies or their shortfalls and say, this is how we can empower and strengthen you, and we can work together to create those synergies that bring about this whole essence of collaboration and what it should be.
Well, when it comes to collaboration and we're talking about getting out of the comfort zone, let me just tell you a little story, right, about me. And, I don't need to take away from you guys or anything, but let me tell you, this whole entrepreneurial thing is me being out of my comfort zone. And I think I enjoy networking. I really love it. But the thing is, like, I guess Regina would know. Kentisha seems like she's the one who's out of the box, who's ready to just go, go, go. Regina has expressed to me, she's a bit more reserved, a bit more shy. And I think in the public face, I'm a bit more out there, crazy, outspoken, but in reality, I'm a bit more reserved, a bit more shy. And when I came to starting my own ventures and starting my own stuff, I want to do nonprofit. I want to do this for the Autism Awareness Society. And I just needed to start all these things. And there's a whole list of people I have, like, oh, I see this person, I want to work with them. I'm talking about celebrities. I'm talking about well-known persons. I'm talking about government officials. Listen, there's a certain window of time between 9:30 and 10:30 at night when my baby is asleep and I'm by myself and, I'm just feeling a little good. I don't know if I had a little bit of wine or what, but I'm ready to slide into everybody's DM. I am going to message. Don't let me have your number because I'm going to WhatsApp you like we friends. I'd be like, hey, Kentisha, girl, what you saying? We need to work on this together. And you'll be like, I don't know who you are, but yes, I get bold and brave. From 9:30 till about 10:30, 11 o'clock, I will message you. It's not professional. You're going to see it tomorrow, but I did what I did. And sometimes I get a hit. Sometimes I don't. Like, I already message people like Tony Braxton, like, hey, Tony, we need to talk. She didn't message back. But, just along the lines of getting out of your comfort zone, let's collaborate, Tony. Let's network, Tony. If you're watching this, call me, message me, DM me, check your inbox, girl. I just need to get out there. Let's just network. So in terms of being an entrepreneur and starting a new venture, what is the one key piece of advice you'd give to someone thinking about starting new? Tisha? I see Regina thinking.
Go for it. Go for it, just do it. And I always tell entrepreneurs this, go for it, just do it. The longer you're sitting on your idea, the longer it becomes somebody else's, the sooner it becomes somebody else's idea. And you're just the person walking past saying, oh, I thought about that. We're sure you did. So just go and do it. I teach at BTVI. I've been teaching at BTVI for about 6 years, entrepreneurship. And I tell my students every single day, when you leave my class, I want to be able to come and patronize your business, because all you have to do is just do it. And on numerous times, I've had some of my students pop up to the same trade show, and I say, I'm so glad that you just got it done.
So, but Tisha, so along that vein, How long was it from the time you decided you wanted to have your own business and when you actually did it? Because you're saying just do it. How long did it take you to just do it?
So when I first thought about my popsicle company, I actually was working at Enterprise in Hollywood, Florida. And I remember sitting there telling my boss, I'm going back to the Bahamas to start a popsicle company. And I remember him looking at me and laughing. He said, "You going back to your little island to sell popsicles? Okay, whatever." And I said, "I sure am." Now they come and visit and they see pops up and they say, "You really went back home to sell popsicles." So from since I came back, it must have been I started working for Bahama as soon as I came back. Bahama had let me go, so I could say maybe about I knew about pop stuff for about a year, but I could tell you execution must have only taken about a week, to be honest.
Wow.
And the reason because of that is because my back was up against the wall. I had $10 left, Letitia. My mom said, "You need to get a job or you need to come out of my
Mm,
house." And I
mm.
said, "Mommy, but all the jobs offer me $250." She said, "Well, you better take that so you can pay the cable bill." And I said, "Mommy, but I really want to sell popsicles." And she said, "Well, you better start selling popsicles because you need to make money to pay these bills." And so what I did is I took the $10 that I had left from my Bahama redundancy package. I took that $10. I bought a popsicle mold from Amazon. It was a Norpro plastic popsicle mold. And my grandmother had a soursop tree. I went to my grandmother's soursop tree. I picked the soursop, made soursop juice, froze it into soursop popsicles, and Letitia, we've been popping and not stopping ever since.
Oh my God. That is a story to be told because listen, I could tell you about the having $10 left. Like I feel like you touched me just now. Having the $10 left and it's like, do I put gas in my car or do I do this for the business to propel the business forward to go for your dream? And I might have to walk that day, but something is gonna work out. Something gotta give. And you've been popping and stopping ever since. So Regina, what's the piece of advice you would give to someone hoping to start something new?
I think it's the same thing. I think it's just do it. I think for me, I was working when Firehouse originally started. But I did resign. And I think, like Tisha said, when your back is against the wall is when you're really more focused. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, listen, Gina, you're not working. You've been doing this pepper thing that everybody called it for a while now, but it's time to get serious in your craft. And I remember calling a friend and saying, I need you to buy a hot sauce. I need you to buy a pepper because I needed money. And it became consistent. And I remember the Christmas that I launched my Christmas gift boxes. I had anticipated selling 20 boxes. And so I went to this particular store to buy these boxes, and this lady said, "Well, what are you making?" And I said, I just said spice boxes for Christmas. And she said, how much was first? I told her the price, and she said, I'm going to buy 20. And those package came with 25, I think it was 25 boxes in a pack. And I was only going to buy one pack. And that was when I said, something, Gina, you could make some money off of this. And I really started getting more serious into it when I had no other choice. And so my advice is to you to start, but get serious sooner than later. So, and what I did was I knew what I wanted. So I knew that one day I wanted to export. And so I did my research on labeling. And I said, in order for pepper jelly to get on the shelf or hot sauce to get on the shelf, it had to have this type of label. It had to have a barcode. And so I spent some initial money up front from my resignation paycheck, basically. My last paycheck is where I invested and said, it's time to go forward with this. And so once you start and you're serious, and you're gonna have days when you're not serious. I'm not even gonna sell your dream and say I was disciplined straight through. That was not my word in 2014. I was an entrepreneur, I was my own boss. I was waking up whenever I wanted to wake up, spending money like I was hitting the lottery every weekend. And not until I was serious and serious enough and said, this is a business. I need to set up systems. I need to make sure that I'm producing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Then then I become more serious, and I actually started to see that profitability as well. So yeah, so just start.
Just start.
And you
I
know what?
think
So sorry, Tish, for cutting you off,
no
but
problem.
reach out to somebody, because what I've realized now is we talk about how we don't want to empower and work together sometimes. But honestly, every time I reach out to someone for help, they've responded positively or favorably. Now I didn't message Tony Braxton or
Gotta step it up. You gotta step it
right.
up.
But my intent is to supply some celebrities that love hot sauce. And so I've been strategically collecting their and their mailing addresses. I just haven't been confident enough to do so. But now that you
9:30 to
said that,
10:30.
I'm
You
gonna
just
I'm gonna
set
ship.
it.
I'm gonna mail it out. I'm gonna tell my distributor send it out.
Just
But
set it
yeah,
out.
but reach out to those people that you admire or that you look up to and have those conversations. Just ask the question, how did you get started? Can you give me some advice? I'm doing hot sauce too. And I'm an open book because I feel as though I personally cannot supply the Bahamas with enough hot sauce. So if you want to do hot sauce, if Kentisha and Tisha want to do hot sauce, we can combine our resources and be or have the best hot sauce that the Bahamas has ever tasted. So I believe in collaboration and networking.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, I would give my piece of advice. I will say my advice is stolen, but when I heard it, it was just so powerful to me. I have to give props. I think it was Les Brown who said, "If you're going through hell, don't stop. Keep going.
Yep.
Just keep going. Like you came this far to stop and turn around and go back to doing what you were doing before. I'm already in hell. I'm already struggling, ready broke,
We to the
ready
bottom already.
eating noodles every night because you don't have any money because you spend on your business. Keep going. Keep going. Just don't stop. Don't give up, people. It's not the end of the road. And I think, like Regina said, it's important to find those people. Now, in terms of reaching out, you have to reach out to the right people because I remember at a point in my journey, I reached out to some people, like I said earlier, and I still a little salty about it. So I got to be honest. And those people tell me, I don't think you need to do that right now. And then nobody really can do that. You need to do this and go work here. And like Kentisha said, oh, those family members who say, oh, well, you need to get a job. Why don't you get a good government job? You still have a couple of years left till pension. There's a couple of years left till pension. I have many years left. I got time to do this, make my millions. I don't need to be working at the government job. I'm not knocking the government job. Nobody come for me, please. But all I'm saying is if I have a vision, a goal, if you don't support it, that's fine. I will support it. I will do it on my own if I have to. And you ladies sound like you're well on your way to being millionaires because as we know, millionaires have about 7 streams of income. So what's the next venture for you guys? Because Regina already got this one, that one. Kentisha working here. She got Pop Stop. She got the Grow Hub. What is the next venture for you guys? Either collaborating or individually. Yes, Tisha.
I think phase two. What I would say is phase two of grow, and that's collaboration.
So that is exactly what I was gonna say. The next grow location or the franchise or whatever we plan to do next. I think that's definitely what we see.
I need to bring that to Grand Bahama so we can collaborate. Let me get
Bring that
involved in
beef.
this. Let me be the taste tester for y'all. I'm gonna keep throwing that out there. Tell somebody, give me a call.
So get to invest in then, Letitia.
Yes,
So
I gotta check out this whole
check it
crowdfunding
out. Check it
thing. Check
out.
out our X. Let me see how I could get involved. And we say we could be a part of it for only $16.
Yep.
Wow.
And listen,
So
Letitia, even if you want to step it up, for just $160, that's 10 shares.
that's 10
Only
shares.
160.
Oh my God. Hold on. Let me write this down. Let me get all this. Let me do some quick math.
And
Let me see.
and did you know the perfect gift that keeps on growing for Christmas is a gift of shares.
I think Kentisha is the marketing agent for Groway.
Definitely.
Letitia, only between 7:30 and 8:30.
Okay, I'm watching your time. I'm watching your time. So as we get ready to close, ladies, if you guys have any closing remarks, let me know what you guys want to post. Share about your businesses. Share about Grow. Let's do the shameless plugging of the businesses right now. Now is the time.
Ah. All right. So for Grow, to find out more about Grow, you can visit us at growbahamas.com. We are accessible. Our phone numbers are there. Our email address is there. So reach out to us if you have any questions. If you need help walking through the investment process, we're here to help as well. And then Firehouse is on social media as well, Firehouse Spice Company. And same thing, if pepper is your thing, give us a call. And I think that's it for me.
Okay, Kentisha.
Okay. Hey, everybody, what's growing on? I invite you guys to head on down to RWAC X so that you guys can sign up for RWAC X and invest and grow today. You don't want to wait until tomorrow or next week. Today is the day to invest and grow this new exciting Bahamian company. You want to be able to invest in it. And for just $16 or $160, you could get 10 shares for the gift of Christmas for all of your family members. And also for Pop Stop, if you guys want to stay cool and stay poppin', head on down to Pop Stop 242. You want to find out more, head on down to growbahamas.com.
Awesome, awesome. So we want to thank Regina and Kentisha for being our amazing guests today. From them, we can learn to be innovative, creative, revolutionary, and definitely think outside the box, get outside your comfort zone, and just do it. As a reminder, we'd like to tell everyone to check out RBNTV YouTube channel for a total of 11 exciting shows. And on behalf of Raquel Benabine Hart, who has taken a backseat this season, she's doing all the background work and the executive producing. So she is still very busy, people. Don't think she's on vacation. And on behalf of myself, Letitia Campbell-Parker, I want to say have a great day and let's continue to grow, Bahamas.